Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Wow, what is this? Another video in a matter of days? What is this, a fantasy land? Yes it is. So, if you're like me, you might have heard of a game called Iron Harvest in the last 6 months or so. I'd mainly just seen the odd advertisement here and there, but I finally looked into it recently and the trailer immediately piqued my interest with its unique setting, awesome units, and just the fact that it was 2019 and I was looking at an entirely new real-time strategy game, and not just some remaster of an older title. You guys know that I love these games, so I was super excited to jump into the alpha and check it out. And after playing around 5 hours, I've got a bit to say about it. So, for those who don't know, here's a quick rundown on what Iron Harvest actually is. It's a brand new, currently in development RTS made by King Art Games, and it's set in an alternate history 1920s. The concept is based off artwork and ideas created by Polish artist Jacob Rosalski, and goddamn is this not some of the coolest artwork I've seen in a while. I'll have it on screen so you can take it all in. It's set in a post-World War I Eastern Europe and it features 3 warring factions, all of whom wield varying sizes of mechs and robotic units in the battlefield. Now, like I said before, the game is currently in alpha, which means there's a lot of content missing, and some pretty serious performance issues to go along with it. You may have noticed the stuttering in the footage on screen. That's the game, not the video. It performs better with the less players you have, but it does get noticeably worse the more you add. As for the gameplay, it's very reminiscent of Company of Heroes. Battles are relatively small scale, and armies are limited, which makes each unit extremely valuable. There's light base building, and the game's resources are gathered via holding capture points scattered around the map. There's currently only 2 of the 3 planned factions available, but there's already some decent variety between them, and while I'm assuming there will be a lot more units and buildings added in the future, each side currently has around 12 units. Infantry are pretty stock standard and what you'd expect for the time period, but it's the mechs that are the focal point of Iron Harvest. Of all the ones in games so far, each feels unique in their ability to perform in different scenarios. There's great variation here, with some that are built for speed with a focus on wiping out squads of infantry, and some huge lumbering behemoths with artillery guns that are 70% the size of their entire body. Watching these huge mechanical monsters battle it out makes each game feel impactful and quite memorable, and they just look so awesome. All this is helped by the fact that the game itself looks really great. Textures are crisp, and the models are excellent. All the game's effects like gunfire, explosions and engine smoke are also really top class. Like Company of Heroes, Iron Harvest isn't just about who can field the most units the fastest, though that certainly helps. Tactics are a real thing here. There's a dynamic cover system with fully destructible environments, and units have special abilities that can be used to turn the tide of an encounter if they're done effectively. You need to really think about what you're doing, and it adds a lot of depth to the moment-to-moment gameplay. For example, you can't just spam infantry in the early game and forgo the mechanized units, because as soon as your opponent has a couple with heavy machine guns and thick armor, it's going to tear your infantry to shreds. You need to balance your army so you're able to deal with situations effectively, and seeing your well thought out battle plan result in a victory is immensely satisfying. So, you can probably tell that I've really enjoyed my time in Iron Harvest so far, but let's move on to the game's more negative points. Currently, the performance issues are quite prevalent, especially when there's more than 2 players on a single map. Stuttering makes combat irritating, and while it's not unplayable, it is pretty noticeable, and for some it may be too much. I've got no doubt that they'll smooth this over as the development gets further on, but for now it is a real issue. Another thing is that if you decide to buy it early, no, there's not much content in the game right now. As of this video, there's 3 maps, 2 factions, and only 1 mode, that being skirmish against the AI. While there was PvP multiplayer added recently, it's only enabled at certain times for testing purposes, so I haven't been able to try that out as of yet. There's also no current voice acting for any units, no campaign, no map editor, no co-op, no third faction, no hero units, and a very small variety of buildable structures for each faction. I'm not docking points here, I knew all these things weren't going to be in the game when I jumped in, but it's worth mentioning for anyone who's considering getting into it right now. Personally, I'm really excited to see where they take Iron Harvest from here. Particularly, I'm interested in the campaign, which they seem to be putting a lot of effort into, and I hope they can make it as good as they claim it will be. The unique setting has a lot of potential, and a really great campaign would make Iron Harvest quite the oddity in today's gaming scene. A game with a great single player campaign, which is also an RTS, in 2019? Nonsense. And while I'm not familiar with the developer's previous work, they do seem to know what they're doing, and they've made steps to ensure they're making the game RTS players actually want, according to their website on that one. On their website there's information about a survey they conducted where they asked 15,000 strategy game fans on their preferences regarding elements of gameplay, monetization and more, and it's encouraging to see them seemingly be taking that to heart. So I'll be checking in with Iron Harvest every so often, and I'm very eager to see what's in store for the future. If you do want to get into the action, you can pre-order the deluxe edition via King Art Games' website, though I wouldn't recommend buying it now if you're looking for a complete product. But if you do want to support the developers and play the game today, then that's how you do it. So thanks for watching everyone. Let me know what you think of this kind of video style in the comments below, and if you have played Iron Harvest, I'd love to see what you guys think as well. Thanks again, see you next time.